Hello, I do apologize that we have not, we, uh, we have not been where we needed to be with this study on here and being able to be where we were supposed to be. I know earlier today when I recorded the video for uh, the reflection on Mark, I told you that I would try to do at least three today. I still plan on doing at least one more. Today's been a little bit distracting because when I was cooking dinner, it did not go the way that I was planning it to, but it was finally made. So, woohoo! So, but we are on the third chapter of the second book. So we are going to be by this point about six or so chapters behind by Wednesday. So hopefully I'll catch up by that point. So the shocking alternative English. Now, to really kind of just begin with this, Christians then believe that an evil power has made himself for the present, the prince of this world, and of course that raises problems. It is the state of affairs in accordance with God's will or not. Is this the state of affairs in accordance with God's will or not? If it is, he is a strange God, you will say. And if it is not, how can anything happen contrary to the will of a being with absolute power? Before I even touch that, one of the things that we have been touching on, one of the things that we have been working with Mere Christianity, with this constant change of what's going on in some senses, we are viewing this aspect of what people view, what Christianity views, with Satan, with the fall, with God, with our morals, with everything else, and all of these different aspects. We are being able to view this this perspective. That's what I'm looking for, of what other people are saying and everything. And the shocking alternative is really, I believe, is a good chapter and a helpful chapter with that. So, uh, um, later on in this page, which kind of goes a little bit to the next page as well, Lewis is talking about the being tidy, being having a mother who's telling us what to do, and if we don't do it, they kind of just she just does it herself, you know. Um, uh, it may be quite sensible for a mother to say to the children, "I'm going to go and make you tidy the schoolroom every night," which I don't know what the schoolroom is. I'm assuming that's just a room in the building. I don't think we ever actually discussed that Wednesday when we were discussing that. You've got to learn to keep it tidy on your own. I'm 28 years old and my mom still gets on me when my place is dirty. But then she goes up one night and finds the teddy bear and the ink and the French grammar all laying in the crate. The grate. This is against her will. She would prefer the children to be tidy, but on the other hand, it is her will which has left the children free to be untidy. The same thing arises in any um, regiment or tidy union or school. You make a thing voluntary, and then half the people do it. Uh, do not do it. That is what you willed, but your will has made it possible. I think that is important in the fact that we have the opportunity, because God gives us the opportunity. He allows us to do what is right, what is wrong, out of just a freeness of free will. And I do apologize. I do have the TV on, but it's muted because a show's about to be on in a few moments, and I'm gonna try to at least record another video after this. So I just figured, why not? So continuing with that, if a thing is free to be good, it is also free to be bad. And free will is what has made evil possible. Why then did God give them free will? Because free will, through it, makes evil possible, is also the only thing that makes possible any love or goodness or joy worth having. I think that's important to think about because the idea of being loving, being kind, being what was the other word that that he uses? Being goodness, being joyful. That we have the free will to choose to be loving and to be kind. I think it's one of those things where it's also the aspect of where we're going in life and how we treat other people. And I've noticed how people treat others in this world right now. You can't seem to have an opinion without someone else just being completely, down your throat and you're wrong or whatever. We talked about this Sunday, so I'll mention this actually. I watched a movie about a week or so ago. Yeah, 2 Sundays ago. It was the Five Nights at Freddy's movie with a buddy of mine and his wife. And before we watched the movie, it was Sunday, so it was about 2 days after it already came out. So about a bunch of people have already seen it. And the reason I'm using this, I'll explain in a minute. There were people who enjoyed it and there were people who didn't. And there are some people that, in my opinion, if you get scared very easily, you'll you'll probably jump at a lot of the jump scares very easily and you may not enjoy it. But that's just from personal experience from when I was younger and I used to be afraid of everything. But for me and Jacob, my friend, we enjoyed it. We were like, oh, this is such a fun little movie. Was it a good? Was it like the best movie? No, but it was something we enjoyed. But the way people reacted to each other was just so disrespectful for not loving at all. And then we can go on to even more stuff, even more impactful things. The stuff that's going on in the world today. You name anything, and it's just right there in front of you. And no one's being loving, no one's being kind, no one's being joyful to one another, and that's crazy to me. But people have that freeness to do that. I do apologize. There's a commercial for Trolls, the third one. I'm assuming I can't remember. Um, I'm trying to find just anything that I think would be important to say within this video because there's no interaction. I don't really know exactly what. Also, I want to say this now before I forget. I will respond to comments that I have seen in previous videos, and I do apologize for not doing that. Okay, so if we go on a little bit further in the chapter, that is why it is just no good asking God to make us happy in our own way without bothering about religion. God cannot give us a happiness and a peace about apart from himself because it is not there. There is no such thing. This is the key to history. Terrific energy is expended civilizations and built up excellent instruct. I am not wording things well right now, but without God, we can't have what we are asking for when it comes to happiness, when it comes to peace, which there's a lot of people that are like, oh, I'm happy. I don't need God. Or, I'm at peace. I don't need God. That's not true. Realistically, look at the marriage rates right now. People, get married to just anyone just to have what they want, be able to, you know, um, well, for one, something I have actually heard, people get married so they don't have to pay much with rent because they have someone to live with them. And it's really sad that we actually live in a area in our world where we cannot just have one job. If the one person doesn't want to work, everyone has to work now, and it's mind blowing. There's so much more in this chapter, and so much that I can touch on, but Christ says that he is humble and meek, and we believe him. Not noticing that if he were merely a man, humility and meekness are the very last characteristics we could attribute to some of his sayings. I'm trying here to prevent anyone saying the really foolish thing that people often say about him. I'm ready to accept Jesus as a great moral teacher, but not accept his claim to be God. That is one thing we must not say. A man who is merely a man said the sort of things that, Jesus said would not be, a great moral teacher. He would either be a lunatic on a level with a man who says he is a poached egg, or else he would be the devil of hell. You must make your choice. Either this man was and is the son of God, or else a madman, or something worse. You can shut him up for a fool. You can spit at him and kill him as a demon, or you can fall at his feet and call him Lord and God. But let us not come with any uh, I'm not wording that word right now correctly, a nonsense about his being a great moral human teacher. He was, he has left that open to us. He did not intend to. He has not let that open to us. He did not intend to. When it comes to Christ being moral teacher, free will, all these different aspects, God gave us the freedom to choose love, to choose him, to choose to love ourselves in the aspect of what the world is saying. I'm being my authentic self or whatever. Are you really loving yourself though, or are you falling along the line of what everyone else is saying? Because it wasn't until this whole movement happened where people all over the world was like, I'm this, or I'm this, or I identify as this. It's become very difficult in the world. And, for me, it's crazy. I'm seeing just craziness, in my opinion, because I don't understand it. That's just me. I don't understand all of this. But, those people that, are being authentic or whatever are also saying that some I have heard are like, oh, yeah, sure, he was a teacher, he was a good teacher, but he wasn't God or whatever. But Lewis is saying that we can't say that. We can't say that he was a good moral teacher and but not God. He has to be both, in my opinion. And the things that he said, he would be considered a lunatic if he was not the son of God, and he is the son of God. He is living and breathing. He is up there in heaven, just waiting until the day it comes. And I am sure I've missed something in this chapter, but I want you to be able to look at the chapter if you own it, if you haven't been able to get it yourself, or honestly, I think there's free ones online. I don't know, but I want you to have the opportunity, if you've come across these videos, to jump in with us and be able to do these uh, videos with us. So I'm so sorry for being behind, but I'm doing my best. So I will say we are doing everything we can to keep on going. So let's keep on keeping on. All right.